we probably talked over the course of that day, maybe 4 or 5 hours, and I took a lot from it. And the next day he texted me some other good quotes. So I'm like, I really like Fat. Fat's a guy after my own heart.
Ray, Jose Pineda, Miami Heat Spanish Radio. How much we saw in the last few weeks some Twitter pictures from LeBron and from Wade, recruiting you as well. How much did that influence you? How much did you speak to them? Did they speak to you, trying to get you here? Did you ask them any specific questions?
Well, I got texts from both of them. It wasn't me as much that they influenced, but the people around me that got them excited. People around me were excited that at least the guys that I was going to play for, it showed them that, hey, these guys really like you and they want you on their team. So, these guys, as much as they see them bigger than life on TV, they just won a championship, they took the time out to reach out and to say something nice about you. And the people who care about me, who love me, the people in the world, it meant a lot to them.
Mark Murphy, Boston Herald. Ray, how much did KG try to change your mind about this, and perhaps Paul, anybody else in the organization?
When I knew I was leaning towards Miami, I actually sent a text out to Kevin, just to let him know that I just remember this process in 08 when Posey left us. He left, and we just really wanted him back, and he went to New Orleans, and we didn't get a chance to, hey, try to get Danny to give him a little something extra, whatever it was. And so I didn't want that to be the case with me in this situation. So I texted Kevin and I told him, I said, hey, I'm leaning this way. I just want you to know, without getting into the finite details of the deal, but he said, well, Daniel, he'll step up to the plate and do whatever you need him to do. So I was like, well, we'll see. And so, that was somewhat of the smaller discussion we had. But, I just wanted them guys to know that, I appreciate everything that they've done for me, and it was a joy and a pleasure to play with them.
Ray, Kyle again from Comcast. What was that conversation with Doc and Danny like when you finally did let them know the decision?
They were disappointed. They were disappointed. They really wanted me to come back, and we won a lot together. 5 years. It's a lot of basketball. It's a lot of time spent. So I think it's going to be good for them that I'm not around, because they don't have to pay me on the golf course anymore when I keep beating up on them. So, but they were disappointed. And, like anything, like I said, I was, it's saddening for me and my family, because those are relationships that we won't have, on a daily basis in our lives, but still friends of mine forever.
No question.
I guess this is for Pat and then for Ray. It's been reported different places. This is a 3-year contract. Is that correct, that you guys have entered into?
Well, as per team policy, we really don't discuss, the length or the amount of the contract.
Okay. Well, I guess to Ray, what are your thoughts going forward on how long you want to play, and what has been your thought on that sort of all along?
Well, I'll take you back to when I was 29 and I was trying to sign a 5-year deal in Seattle, and a lot of people didn't think I would last, through that 5-year deal, and that put me at 34 at the time. So I've always said that I've been on borrowed time, continually take great care of your body, and great sleep, and when you're with great guys who can help you be better, and don't make it so tough on you when you're out there playing. The coaches here at the organization, they put you in a good position to help you win, and you lean on each other, so that does help you prolong your career. So it's hard to really make a judgment on what that date is going to be, how long it's going to be. But I said it at the end of the season that even at the end of the season, when you feel I was going through my ankle issues, I still felt like I had a lot of basketball left in my legs, and I still tell you that today. So I don't want to walk out of this game hobbled, but my mind is still fresh for it and excited for it. So I think the sky's the limit. We'll see.
One of the things that you always think about as a team is that we brought Ray here to win and to be part of this organization, and we hope that he ends his career here, and we hope that we can be the one that hangs his number up in our rafters. factors. You know, I coached a player that played 22 years in the league, and he had his best years when he was 30. Some of them when he was 37, 38 years old. And that's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So, you know, that's sort of how we look at Ray, is that he's part of the new generation of athletes that actually they may have even become better players after 30 years old, because they realize that, you know, there's a point of diminishing returns in your 20s, and then when you start taking care of yourself in your 30s and you start performing at a very high level.
Exactly.
I mean, he averaged 15 points last year and shot 45% from three, and we expect that, you know, next year. I mean, I'll put that on him right now. You know?
Just 45?
Just 45. But that's what his standard is, and so we hope that he flourishes here. We hope that, you know, one day that when he retires, that Shannon and the family relocates and he becomes part of the community and likes South Florida.
Pat, the last time you tried to a repeat run here, you brought the entire team back. Basically, a lot of things didn't go well, but early on there was some complacency or whatnot. How much does bringing in new pieces now, even though, you know, Ray already has the title, Richard doesn't, just sort of re-energize and just change things up as opposed to, you know, the last time you tried to do it?
Ray and I had a good conversation about this. We talked about it, and because he was in the same situation, you know, with the Celtics when they won, and the next year they did not. And some of the reasons and why it happens, there's a plethora of ideas as to what what you can do when you think about it. But you know, entitlement, you know, being comfortable, you know, all of a sudden players, you know, expect more of this or more of that, and it's not the same feeling. But then you go back and you think about, I mean, the run that we had in the playoffs this year, there were times when there was doubt. There was times when you had doubt. There were times when Coach probably had some doubt in the players. We were down 2-1 in Indiana, down 3-2 against Boston, that you may not win. And that's the journey that this whole thing is about. And so this year, next year, is having guys like Ray that have won it before, that know that, you know, we got to raise the bar. We got to expect more from ourselves, from management, from coaching, from the players and the guys that come back, to expect more and hope that we can repeat. So it's not an easy thing. It's the hardest thing you're ever going to do, is win a title. And when you win it, you got to start thinking about what it's going to take to really repeat. And, you know, and what we didn't do back then is we didn't add people like Ray or Richard, or like last year we added Shane. And so, and probably that was my mistake. Sometimes you say, well, I just want to bring the group back and let the group repeat. Well, you know, that could be a mistake. You got to keep adding pieces, you know, to it.
Guys, can we go further now?